this week's Facebook Live. This week I'm going to talk a little bit about parenting and mental health. And if you've seen from the introduction, well, parenting is one of the hardest jobs in the world. And parents are under greater pressure than ever, and everyone seems to have an opinion on your parenting skills. They did do in my day when my kids were younger. They do now still. My grandchildren are, growing up. And I do recognise that parents are. It's a huge pressurised position to be in, and social media, in particular, can have us buying into a kind of false sense of parenting. And this has a huge impact on parents' mental health. And what we need to do here is we need to stop. We just need to stop, okay, and realise that no one else is perfect. There's no perfect family out there, parents are under pressure, and we need to look at some common mental health challenges that are facing parents. Now, there's lots of them, okay, but I'm only going to tackle 3 of them today. And the first one is a lack of self-care. Parents just don't have time. They never have a minute to themselves. And you're trying to balance your life, being a parent, work, trying to have some time for yourself, trying to have time for family, for friends, the house, kids, everything, schools, the whole lot. And that's an art in itself, trying to get that balance right. Even just as an individual, trying to balance your life is an art in itself. But, add in the pressure of being a parent. It can be really tough to try and find some time just for yourself. But I'm going to say it's a necessity. Now, some people, mightn't understand what I mean by basic self-care, and I keep harping on it. But it's sleep. That's a fundamental, because if you let it go out the window, it's going to have a knock-on effect. When the kids are sleeping, we tend to use that time, to get bits and pieces done, catch up on work maybe, just to keep our lives ticking over. But that's really undermining your ability to cope overall. So sleep, if it was me, I would be making sleep a top priority with regard to self-care. Because you're only setting yourself up for huge health, physical health and mental health issues. If you're adding into that, then you're not eating right, maybe you're not taking some time for exercise, maybe, too much caffeine just to keep going. We've all done it. Again, it's a cycle. You're building yourself into a cycle. It's like that domino effect. We put one thing off, or we don't do one thing around self-care, and next minute, it dominoes out, and it can have a huge implication for everything else in all other areas of your life, including your relationship with your children. So really getting those basics of self-care in place is going to be vital. So sleeping when the kids are sleeping, I've talked about this before, is okay. Letting the house go to pot is okay. You do what you can. That's it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be super mum or super dad. There's no such thing. Hang up the cloak and start looking after yourself, because it is one of the fundamentals that's going to knock your mental health out. The other thing I would talk about now today would be, not utilising a positive support system. Key word, as always, with support systems is always positive. So everybody needs a positive support system. I've said it before, but it is more vital, or more vital than usual, when you're a parent. You need informational support, you need emotional support, you need tangible support, and you need social support in your daily life. So who are those people? Who are those positive people that can give you that? Don't forget your GP, your child's doctor, the teachers, they're all included in that. So, as parents, over the generations, we have lost that ability to call on extended family, and this has had a knock-on effect into our lives. So it's important that we encourage and nurture others around us, not just particularly if your extended family has, you've moved away from them, or they've moved away from you. So try and make sure that you have people there. You look at those 4 things I called out: informational, emotional, tangible and social supports, and see who can I slot in to those positions. People can move, between different ones, but make sure you have them and you're nurturing them. You're making contact with them if you need them. But you have numbers, you have emergency numbers, you have your GP's number, you have dentist number, you have the school's numbers, the teachers. You can contact the teachers. You have the numbers you need to hand, and when a crisis hits, then it's not just scrambling to find something, but make sure you are utilizing that positive support as much as you can. Because becoming a parent changes how we feel about ourselves. It really is an identity crisis that we go through when you become a parent. The other thing we can do here is we can start to lose friends, people that we were close to, because perhaps they're at a different life stage than you. Maybe they don't have kids. And your family's not living that close by anymore. We can start to feel disconnected from other people, but also ourselves. It can be very isolating and very lonely as a parent. That can happen. So all of this, it has a knock-on effect onto our mental health. So really making sure you have those positive supports and connecting, making connections with people is important, but always positive. This will help reduce that mental health challenge, and help you through that transition into becoming a parent. It's vital. Number 3 would be financial issues, and that's going to put, anybody struggling with financial issues is going to have a problem with your mental health. It's going to have a huge impact. You're going to have added stress to your life. But becoming a parent, we've added financial burdens. Let's face it, kids are expensive. They are. Having a child is expensive. You got, school, childcare costs, all the, your utility bills go up. So some childcare costs can actually be as high as a mortgage on your house, or even more so. So, this all adds to that financial insecurity, which adds stress and anxiety to our lives as parents. Sometimes then too, you got the added pressure of a lower income. For one reason or another, maybe your income levels have dropped. Maybe you've had to go switch to part-time work. Maybe one of you have had to drop out of work. Maybe you've lost a job. So that can become an added pressure to you. The other thing is, women do tend to have lower incomes than their male counterparts. That can have a knock-on effect too to people's lives and their mental health, because if you're a single parent and you're trying to balance your finances, it will add to your stress levels. So we know for sure, research is showing us that financial insecurity, any financial uncertainty, is linked to increased depression, increased anxiety, increased stress, for anybody, but in particular for parents. So it's important, as I said, go back to that, the positive support system. These people, who can I reach out to? So if there is financial insecurity there are organisations, there are people, you can go to and talk to and get that informational support, and sometimes tangible support that will help ease that burden on you. There are other, as I said, challenges that parents can face too, that I would just like to quickly talk about is, raising a child with a disability. I've done it. It's really tough. It's really tough mentally. And the other one is divorce and conflict, conflict with your ex. This can have a huge impact on you. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with them now, but do go and check out the blog. The only thing I will say to you is about domestic violence. Please reach out for support. Be very mindful of safety first, as always. But I do have a number of blogs on domestic violence, so that can be a problem, particularly around divorce or conflict with your ex. So look at it, as always, it's more than a bruise. People don't realise that it is more than a bruise, domestic violence. So please reach out. There are links in the blogs where you can reach out to. So please do check that out. And the last thing I would say to you is, if you feel you're struggling with your mental health, reach out sooner rather than later, because the sooner you get it and it can be dealt with a therapist, really does form a fundamental part of your positive support system. That's what we're here for. We can help you get back on track, reduce that stress, reduce that anxiety. We're a wealth of knowledge for people, other people that you can contact in your community for additional support other than a therapist. So do please reach out for support. And I leave it there. As always, I'm happy to answer questions. There's more information in the blog. I always leave it linked in the description below. Just like to say to people, it's a bank holiday weekend here now in Ireland. Happy Halloween to those that are here that are celebrating it. Enjoy your long weekend. I won't be here next week as a result. I'm going to take a week's break, and I'll be back in about 2 weeks. So enjoy your week off. If your kiddies are off school for the week, it's midterm, or kids have a week off. Try and take time for yourself too. That's important. Enjoy Halloween, enjoy the celebrations, have a nice time, and I will talk to you all again the next time I see you in about 2 weeks' time. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching live, thank you for those who watch in replay here and on YouTube, and I will see you all soon. Thank you.